Verse by verse meditations. Genesis chapter 7. Genesis chapter 7 and verse 17. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. As we continue to meditate on the story of Noah, our level of anxiety is usually low or non-existent, because we already know how things are going to turn out. Another reason we don't have a whole lot of anxiety as we read these stories is often because we are literally detached from all the persons that are in the stories. The level of anxiety we experience going through a hurricane is significantly higher than hearing that someone else is going through a hurricane. I'm not saying that we are uncaring or careless, but our personal experiences tend to have a greater impact on us compared to hearing that someone else is going through it. The experience inside the ark at the beginning of the storm was probably no fun for Noah and his family, and every bit of anxiety they had was probably at its peak. He may have been concerned about whether the ark would float or whether it would remain sealed to keep out the water. Well, we know that the ark would float because we are looking back at what Noah went through. So his anxiety would have been higher because he was looking forward to what he had to go through. If you had the unfortunate experience of hitting your little toe today, I pray for whatever trauma that experience caused you. The ministry of exhortation is concerned with lifting up the spirit of others and to encourage them whenever they are experiencing challenges that would otherwise bring them down. Persons that have the ability to show empathy are far better at exhortation compared to those that cannot show empathy. Tonight, I just want to encourage you to be lifted up in your minds and to be lifted up in your spirit as you float while you are going through whatever storm you are going through. We read Job chapter 22 and verse 29. When men are cast down, then thou shalt say, there is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. James would write in chapter 4 and verse 10, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Jesus says in chapter 3 and verse 14 of John, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. And he said also in John chapter 12 and verse 32, and I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. I pray that you would be drawn to Jesus when you are going through any kind of storm. I pray these things in his holy name.